What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big Chunky. Today we're going to be going over the Game Awards nominees. Now, we've been waiting for these for I guess all year. We've been having really really good games come out this year. Like the Game of the Year category is pretty strong this year. So I figured let's go over some of the awards, and I say some because I am going to be skipping a few all of the esports things. I'm sorry, I just don't care. I'm sorry. Um, and the mobile stuff, I'm sorry, I still just I don't care. So I'm gonna be going over the categories that I kind of care about, and I think most people that would probably be watching this video would care about. So let's go ahead and go over to the Game Awards Twitter, because every time I try to get on the GameAwards.com to just cast my votes, it gives me this. So let's get on Twitter, and we can go ahead and start with the best ongoing game. So I'll just go ahead and do this one. So we have Apex Legends. Excuse me. We have Call of Duty Warzone, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. I've played Final Fantasy 14 for a half a minute. I played Fortnite way back in the day. Call of Duty Warzone's not really my like this really isn't my bag, but a lot of people really care about these kind of games, so cast your votes, I guess. I think personally I would go for Final Fantasy 14. I like MMO games a lot more than I like the BRs. How about that? Multiplayer game. There's six nominees. It seems like there's no rhyme or reason as to which categories have five or six nominees. I don't know. So, best multiplayer game, we have Back for Blood, It Takes Two, Knockout City, and Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. So, New World is a game I tried for like half a minute too, and it's it's something that I would really like to put more time into if I ever had more time in the future to put into an MMO like I used to with World of Warcraft. And Monster Hunter, I'm always interested in the next Monster Hunter game. I haven't picked this one up yet. I'm really looking forward to when it comes out for PC, um, over the Switch. So I'd rather get it for PC over the Switch. And I think honestly, I would go for Monster Hunter Rise, because that Monster Hunter games, especially as of recent, have just been the utmost quality. So then we have the best performance. We can go to Eric Amori for Life is Strange, Giancarlo Esposito for Far Cry 6. That might win. He's great. Jason E. Kelly in Deathloop. I haven't played Deathloop, so some of these games that are obviously meant for next gen, or I guess current generation, like the PS5 and the Xbox Series systems. I just got my PS5 a few months ago, so I haven't gotten around to playing some of these games, but I have gotten to play a few that are in the Game of the Year category. Deathloop, however, is not one of those games that I got to play yet. Resident Evil Village, however, definitely is, and um, Resident Evil Village is fantastic. So that's the one game out of this category that I've played. So I would go for Maggie, um, if I could vote. So then we can go to the best score, and so we have Cyberpunk for its first nomination. Um, Spoiler: Cyberpunk is not in the running for Game of the Year, um, but it is up for several awards, and people that did play the game, especially on PC, where it ran, I think, the best over the previous generation consoles, and even the current generation consoles. It's amazing how bad that game runs. Um, but the score might be excellent. These games might just have great soundtracks. But it's really weird. When Jeff Keighley was announcing these nominees, they definitely enunciated every they, he went all in on the version number for Near Replicant. I have no idea if that's just a meme or something that he's referencing. I have no idea. Maybe, honestly, maybe some new music that was just like great got added in that patch or something. I don't know. That's a new one. So then we can go to the nominations for art direction. Oh boy, this is a strong one. So Deathloop is in like every category, every category for single player game. So Deathloop is in there. Kena Bridge of Spirits, which is if you all, like I did, watched it a million times, watched the old Ember Lab, what was the video? Terrible Fate, something like that. It was a Majora's Mask, a fan made Majora's Mask. A little 5 minute long video, and good lord, these people are talented. So that studio finally came out with their first game, Kena Bridge of Spirits, and I have it on the PlayStation 5. I haven't played it yet, but I'm very interested in it. It looks beautiful. Then we have Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which I did play, um, and The Artful Escape. The Artful Escape is on here a couple times. I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of it. Maybe I should feel bad about doing it, but a lot of these games I do have and I plan on playing. Like Deathloop is one of those games that like it didn't really appeal to me, but since it's nominated for so many categories, I just don't know if this isn't like a super strong year or if Deathloop is really that good. But Psychonauts 2 is obviously on my list. But I would say just by pure art direction, I would say that Kena would probably need to take it. That game is absolutely beautiful. And this is a new category. And actually, you know what? Don't take that for certain. I'm not sure if this is new, but the innovation and accessibility category. Xbox is really good with or really advanced in developing technology for disabled gamers, which I think is absolutely amazing. One of the controllers that they came out with a couple years ago to maximize the size of the buttons that to make it more accessible for players to play the games. That's something that you really only see Microsoft doing anymore, rather than a lot of people coming out with more accessible controllers for people that maybe just can't hold a modern or a modern controller. They need something more ergonomically designed for something like them. So that category is really cool. So if you're one of those people, maybe you can check out one of these games and they can have some accessibility options for you to make it easier to play the game, because a lot of these games, apparently Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is just fantastic, and Forza Horizon's absolutely beautiful, Far Cry 6 is getting a lot of praise, Ratchet and Clank is great. So if there's any kind of accessibility options that may cater to you or someone that that might want to play the game, let them know. It Takes Two is also on here, and that's a game that like doesn't really come around that often. It's a purely co-op game. I say they don't come around that often, but we've actually had two pretty prominent ones, like the It Takes Two and the one by the crazy guy that was at the Game Awards a couple years ago. Um, so then we have Life is Strange: True Colors. I like the first Life is Strange game, the in between game. What was it called? Before the Storm was okay. And I haven't gotten around to playing Life is Strange 2, but True Colors is winning a whole lot of awards, so I'm gonna have to go for that. Guardians of the Galaxy having best narrative is extremely intriguing, and of course Psychonauts 2. We kind of figured that. I'm gonna have to check out Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, best indie game. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I have heard of two of these. 12 Minutes, never heard of it. Death's Door, I have heard of it very briefly. Kena Bridge of Spirits, I would be goddamn shocked if this if this game didn't win over the rest. And we have Inscription and Loop Hero, not to diminish the rest of the other games, but like if you just compare the gameplay and the overall art style, everything is Kena looks like a AAA game. All right, after skipping a couple awards, let's go to the most anticipated game of the year. Oh boy. next year is Next year is going to be something. We have Elden Ring, we have God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Starfield. Good lord. I don't even know which. I mean, okay, obviously, I'm the most excited for the sequel to Breath of the Wild. That's Zelda's my favorite. But out of the rest of them, good God, I don't even know which one I'm the most excited for. I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn yet. When that game came out, it was like a couple weeks before Breath of the Wild came out, and I just couldn't buy it. So I played Breath of the Wild instead of Horizon, which I think a lot of people did. But I do have it now on PC, and I do plan on playing it before I play Forbidden West. And Elden Ring looks fantastic. I haven't finished God of War and Starfield. I don't think we've really seen anything on the actual game itself, but it's Bethesda's first new IP in 25 years, so or over that at this point. So That's pretty exciting. All right, so we can skip the esports categories. I'm sorry, guys, and go on to best game direction. And best game direction, we have Deathloop. Shocking. We have It Takes Two. I gotta play that with somebody. We have Returnal. That's a game that's also one of those games that was on the PS5 that I haven't gotten around to getting yet. It's on the list though. Psychonauts 2 and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Listen, uh, I thought that Ratchet and Clank was an excellent game, but from what it sounds like is that like Ratchet and Clank and Psychonauts 2 are like the collectathon, 3D platformer games to compare to each other. And it seems like what people think is that Ratchet and Clank is the more technically impressive game because I mean, if you play it, there's no load times at all. It looks beautiful. The performance is just is great. No matter well, okay, if you pick the quality and ray tracing and everything, it kind of runs at 30 seconds. It's really sluggy, but or 30 frames a second. It's really sluggish. But everybody says they had more fun with Psychonauts 2 because it seems like while Ratchet and Clank is more technically impressive and they can do all these technical things and take advantage of the PlayStation 5 hardware, the actual direction and the creativity behind Psychonauts 2 seems to be driving people to think that Psychonauts 2 is actually like kind of a better game in a way. Alrighty. So game of the year, guys. We have shocking. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Now, I've played half of these games. Metroid Dread is absolutely fantastic. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is also great, and I loved Resident Evil Village. Um, it's a toss up on this one, honestly. Um, I would I would find it hard to believe that It Takes Two would take it home because it's a purely co-op. From what I understand, I haven't played it yet, but I understand that it's a purely co-op game, and it's not like we all have friends to play the game with. So you'd think that a single player game would probably take the cake. Um, Resident Evil Village was a really polished product in the end. It did kind like the second or the first half of the game strongly outweighs the second half of the game. Um, but Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, really solid all the way around. Metroid Dread, fantastic Metroid game for the Metroid fans. Deathloop, still haven't played it. Psychonauts 2 is on the list. I have it downloaded. Um, but as of right now, the game that I think I enjoyed the most this year has been Metroid Dread. It was there are never there are never times where I struggle through a game, and I struggled through Metroid Dread. I'm not great at games. I love games though, so I struggled through Metroid Dread. I beat it, um, and then I wanted to play it right over again. I wanted to try it on the harder mode. That's how good the game is because it's still like I beat it in like 10, 11 hours, maybe 12. But then I just wanted to play it over again. So that's Metroid Dread, or that's what I think should win Game of the Year is Metroid Dread. It was a really polished product. It ran really well. Um, it gave you a good story in a Metroid game, which is that never happens. So yeah, I think that should take the cake. But let me know what you guys think down below about all the nominees for these categories, and it by all means, if you want to throw down what you think should win the categories that I didn't mention, go for it. Yeah, tell me why. Tell me why these things are important because I just the games that are played in all these esports the esports events they're not my kind of games. So let me know what you guys think down below. Leave the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this. Stay chunky, my friends. I'll see you in the next video.